Well, that didn't really last that long. This was supposed to be, I believe, a 5.5 hour drive. Ended up being 8 hours. I didn't think cows were in the desert, but here we are. The fact that I can be in the middle of Utah and set up my Xbox and play video games anywhere I want, yeah, it's pretty cool. It's about to rain. All right, making the executive decision to not do this tonight. There's currently a sandstorm going on outside. Can I do one shower?
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You know, I keep looking around and also pinching myself a couple times because I've never seen gas this low in probably years since I started driving. Currently in the middle of nowhere in Colorado and the gas prices are $2.60. Like, come on, you can't beat that. If you guys are new to my channel, I live in the back of this bus traveling across the country, and we're currently on a 5-state itinerary of traveling to Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, Utah, and Nevada. We blew our transmission about a month ago, so we ended up notching out New Mexico just because of timeline reasons. I don't want to be in the middle of Utah and Nevada in the summer. So we ended up notching out New Mexico, going right to Colorado. We are actually in the Rockies right now, so we're traveling down into Moab, where we have a bunch of national parks we're gonna hit, and we're gonna be starting our adventure in Utah starting tonight. But tonight it's going to be a long night, and that's why I bought this energy drink. I'm not really into energy drinks. I don't drink Celsius. I never even heard of Celsius. Apparently it's a big brand. But tonight's going to be a long night. It's going to be a 6-hour drive, so going to need some energy on the road here. So cheers to 6 hours of driving, some beautiful views, some great music, and our adventure starting in Utah. I'll see you guys there. Well, that didn't really last that long. Probably about an hour into driving, going uphill. I think I pushed it a little bit too much. We've had previous issues of overheating, but I think this hill's pretty big, so something to kind of expect here. After basically 5 gallons of water, let's see if this works. It's at the coolant line, and I think we're gonna be going up some more mountains, so wish us luck here. Well, we finally made it to Utah. This was supposed to be, I believe, a 5.5 hour drive, and ended up being 8 hours. So, realistically speaking, you know, when you're driving in a bus like this, you have to add an hour just because bus hours. But and since we overheated, that took a lot longer than really expected. We started driving at 3. It's currently 11 o'clock. But we did make it to our spot here in Moab. We finally made it to Utah, and we have some pretty cool things planned here in Utah as well. A bunch of national parks to hit, a bunch of cool things to see. And this spot isn't that bad either. We have a fire ring, and we're pretty much secluded over here. So looking forward to spending the rest of the week here, chilling, working, and of course, going on some sick-ass hikes. That being said, it was a very long night, and all I want to do right now is watch the new Black Mirror that came out. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I will see you guys in the morning. Good morning from Moab, Utah. I slept like a baby last night. It was perfect weather, not too cold, not too hot, and this place is a completely different planet. We do have some neighbors, but I cannot get over this beautiful landscape over here, and I'm just now noticing as well that I believe those are wild cows. I didn't think cows were in the desert, but here we are. There's a bunch of them actually. With that being said, Moab is supposed to be all 70s this week, which is awesome to hear. We've been up in the mountains and experiencing some cold weathers up in the Grand Canyon, up in Colorado. So looking forward to some warmer weather here. We finally made it to the actual desert, which is awesome. And we do have our own little spot here. We do have a fire ring, which would be cool for setting up some fires. I'm thinking about possibly setting up the projector tonight, which would be really awesome. Of course, we have these beautiful views, but yeah, we're pretty much in a secluded area here, which I'm really digging. Unfortunately, I am not a full-time content creator yet, keyword yet. Hopefully this does become my full-time job in the future. But as of right now, I do have a 9 to 5. I work off of Eastern time, so I work from 7 to 3 now that we're in Mountain time, so I gotta get to work. just finished up meal prepping and basically doing all of our chores that we needed to do today. And to be honest with you, that was a really long day. Pretty much woke up at 6:30, started to worked till 3 o'clock, went right to Moab, which is about 30 minutes away, did some chores, filled up our gas, got groceries, and then drove another 30 minutes back to our spot. And luckily we even got this spot too, because it seems like there's a lot of vehicles coming in and out. So really lucky to have this big of a space here. But being that we have this big old space to ourselves, and we're overlooking basically, the canyons and, the red rocks and everything. You can actually see the snow-capped mountains as well. I think I'm gonna try to set up the projector and play some Xbox, something that I haven't done yet in the when it comes to living in this bus. I usually do play Xbox inside. I don't really play Xbox that much, mainly on days that, I really just want to chill out. Really kind of windy out right now, so I don't know how this is going to work out, but this has been something that I've been wanting to do since we first started traveling. So I'm going to try to set it up even though it's really windy, and try to see if we can chill out for the rest of the night here. If I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys, this is probably the worst night to do this because it is so windy out right now. I don't know how this is going to work. I don't even know if this is going to be enjoyable, to be honest with you, but we'll see what we can do. I will say, even though it is a big pain in the ass setting this shit up, it's also very rewarding because at the end of the day, I don't really get spots like this all the time. So when I get an opportunity to look at the canyons while playing video games, or look at the canyons while, watching Netflix or something, I feel forced to take the opportunity. I've got to admit too, this has been one of the cooler spots that we've ever been at, because we are in basically Moab, Utah, which is surrounding the 2 national parks of Arches and Canyonlands, which is something that we'll be doing this weekend. So definitely looking forward to that. But the city of Moab is pretty cool. And again, it just feels like we're on another planet over here. One other thing as well, the elevation isn't as high. So if you guys watched my previous videos when I was in Arizona and Colorado, you're talking 6,000 to 8,000 feet in elevation. So I could barely breathe. I could still barely breathe when I'm talking right now, but we're definitely not as high up as in like Colorado. But being that we are a lot lower in elevation, I believe we're around like 4,000 to 5,000 here in Utah. It is obviously a lot warmer out. I'm not really digging the wind. It does look like we have a storm coming, which I hope is not the case. But since we got here last night, it's been pretty warm. So got my Xbox and an extra cord just in case we need the length. But my girlfriend swears that I basically wanted to do this lifestyle just to do this, which is, part of that is true, but a part of that isn't necessarily true because I haven't done this before. But yes, this is definitely another big pro of living this type of lifestyle. The fact that I can be in the middle of Utah and set up my Xbox and play video games anywhere I want. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Xbox on. Also needs to get a little bit darker out, just so the light can show through the projector. Okay, I am seeing the screen a little bit, but like I said, we might need to wait until it gets just a little bit darker out before we actually start gaming, just because I can't see anything with the projector, but I can already tell this is gonna be sick. All right, waited about an hour. Obviously it's getting a lot darker out. Also put on some sweatpants because it is freezing out here right now because of the wind. But we'll see if this turns on. As you can see, I can actually see the screen now. So I try to get some books and tilt it a little bit so it's kind of straight. Oh shit, it's about to rain. All right. Making the executive decision to not do this tonight. It's terrible weather, probably the worst time to do this, to be honest with you. And I gotta get my shit in quick before it starts to storm, because that's exactly what's coming. Ah, shit. Sandstorm! Sandstorm! Hope this table doesn't flip. Yeah, you guys can probably hear that, but that is wind. There's currently a sandstorm going on outside. So much for setting up the projector tonight and playing video games. But I will say, if I did not make that executive decision 2 minutes later, then I would have lost my Xbox and probably lost the projector as well, because it is also about to rain out. So yeah, that would have been pretty bad. Yeah, that really blows. But I will say it is also getting pretty late out. It's already 9 o'clock. So, you know, it's maybe a good sign that I'm not playing Xbox right now. So I think I'm just gonna set up the TV and watch this new season of Black Mirror, because these past couple episodes have been insane. If you guys never watched Black Mirror, definitely watch it. But yeah, very unfortunate with the projector outside. Hopefully tomorrow might be a little bit better, but it says it's probably going to be the same exact thing as today, so it's not looking likely. It sucks when you have a beautiful and gorgeous place like this, the beautiful landscapes of the canyons and here in Utah, and you can't really be outside because there's a sandstorm outside. That really sucks, but so far, my experience here in Utah has been okay, other than the sandstorm that we were experiencing earlier. This state is obviously beautiful, and I'm looking forward to traveling this state these coming weeks. We plan to be here for about a month to a month and a half, pretty much hitting every single national park possible in this state, because again, this is a state that, you know, we basically based our trip around. I mean, when we were thinking about doing this lifestyle, this was one of the biggest states that we knew we were going to be in at a long time, just because of the amount of gorgeous and beautiful things there is that this state has to offer. So definitely going to do some big hikes this weekend, hitting arches and canyonlands, which will be awesome. But I plan on, you know, hopefully staying here for a little bit, making some cool ass videos. And I swear one day I will get my Xbox and play some video games outside. I promise you guys that will happen, but unfortunately, that's just not how the cards fell tonight. So that being said, if you guys enjoyed this content, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Ciao.